We're at the outdoor demo. We're talking to the gentlemen from DSP. This is Craig and Jared. Craig, tell me a little bit about DSP and the history of the company.
Well, we're a division of DuraShocks. DuraShocks is the largest OEM manufacturer of automotive suspension in the world. We got over 40 years experience. Today we're going to talk about our Dueler shock. It's one of our great new products. It's a 5-way adjustable shock. We've got high-speed compression, low-speed compression, rebound, spring preload, air pressure, and on some other longer versions we have the PRC, which is a progressive ramp control, which is the end of your stroke, ramps up a lot better. Hard anodized coating. We've got the Chronos tie spring. It's got a proprietary UV coating, scratch resistant. When you wash your bike, the dirt comes right off. It doesn't stick to it. It lasts forever.
And one of the things that I noticed, because you handed it to me a few minutes ago, this shock, it's beefy, it's strong, but I couldn't believe how light it was.
Yeah,
tell me about that.
It's great. It's part of the weight of the tie spring. It's 30 to 50% lighter than steel. Fatigue testing will last up to 6 times longer than steel. It's a great value shock. I mean, you're looking at $300 to $400 based on size.
Okay, so $300 to $400. I don't think you could buy the titanium spring for that from some people.
You can't. Most shocks from other companies are more expensive than that with a steel spring.
Wow. That's incredible. Available aftermarket?
Yeah, aftermarket. We have some distributors around the world. You can get them dspracing.com.
That's awesome. Now, Jared, tell me a little bit more about the company, because from what Craig was saying, you guys have a huge history when it comes to shock absorbers.
Right. For the 40 years, we've covered all realms of any kind of suspension products, from mountain bikes to motorcycles to cars and so on. So if there's a shock or a spring on it, chances are we have some experience with making it. And it's 40 years experience of doing all of this. It's not just overnight creation of engineers. It's something that we've tried and true. We know what we're doing. We've been through R&D with other companies, and then we finally decided everybody else is using our designs in the mountain bike industry and doing really well, so we wanted to create our own brand to capitalize on our experience and to provide a much better product at a very value price to everybody else, so that you can get out and enjoy the trails and whatnot like that.
Yeah, and talking about value price, right? Craig was telling us about the price of the shock, which is almost unbelievable. How does your shock experience then translate into your seat post product?
With our seat post product, a lot of the adjustable seat posts, they either are preset for the heights or they're hydraulic, but they have some problems like seal leakages and the seat dropping. Sometimes the seat will even twist or wobble. However, we've taken time to extensively test and send our bighorn right here through a lot of product testing with our sponsored riders, with our sponsored teams, with our R&D team, to make sure that we eliminate all of these common problems that the hydraulic adjustable seat posts have. So it's fully adjustable down and up. You don't have to push or pull up on it to get the seat up, and you just use rider weight to drop the post.
And now this product is called the Bighorn. I notice it's got a unique head, and I guess that's where the name comes from. Tell me a little bit about what makes this different from other posts.
First, as you can see, the Bighorn itself is like a ram's horn on the side. We're able to accept all saddle sizes. It can adjust forward and backward, and it will lock in place. Some of the other seat posts, they have a tendency for the saddle to slide forward and backward, and also sometimes they don't accept some of the larger or some of the much smaller seat posts. In addition, we have 2 versions. One is a lever underneath the seat. The other is a remote, which you can put on your handlebars or wherever you want, and there's a very small lever on it. On the bottom, you can add air. So if you're a heavier rider like myself, you can add air to it so you can sit down on it easier and adjust it that way. Also, you can remove air if you're a lighter rider, so you're not stuck in a range of what an engineer decided is the best for you. You can actually go through and do it yourself. We also have a 2-way locking mechanism in here, which means once it's in place, you can pull the seat as hard as you want and it will not come loose. you will never separate these two tubes, unless maybe you use a hydraulic press or something.
Makes sense. Now, Craig, we're talking about a lot of the technologies that are inherent, and you test a lot of these products, and you've probably tested a lot of products from a lot of other companies. What do you notice that's different when you test a product from DSP versus some of the other products that you've tested in your life?
Basically, with the dueler shock, it's just a great feeling shock. It's very open, doesn't have the pro pedal capability, so like on a free ride or downhill bike, it's just, full cush. It's about as good as you can go. With the C-Post, the travel's great, it works, there's no issues. I've used some other brands that, you end up riding back with your seat all the way down because it's failed.
Yeah.
So it's not going to happen with the Bighorn.
Nice.
It's a 4.25-inch drop, it's 114 millimeters. Great product. All of our products are nitrogen filled from the factory instead of air filled. Nitrogen has some better properties than air. It doesn't heat up, temperature doesn't affect it, stuff like that, and it's better on seals.
And it's interesting because you take a little detail like that, and it goes to the fit and finish of the product, from your packaging to the way that the product looks, and then to filling it with nitrogen instead of air. It really goes to the attention to detail that I can see that DSP is putting into the product.
Yeah, like I said, it's a great value, it's great attention to detail. Our C-Post is probably 2/3 of the cost of most of the competitors. It's about $230 to $250 depending upon if you get the remote or the lever operated. So, for the value conscious consumer out there, it's a great way to get into a great coil shock, great C-Post, and not break the bank.
That's awesome. What can we expect in the future from DSP?
In the future, we're looking at changing the colors, giving color options for the Bighorn, not just for the horn, but also maybe for the levers, because we know that's important to a lot of the riders out here. They want to match every nut and bolt, so we want to try to give those kind of opportunities. Also, we have some other design ideas that we can't release yet, that we're in the process of developing that should be hitting the market before too long, that I think everybody will enjoy. We're really just trying to get USA distributors so that we can get these products out so people can know our quality and know exactly what we're about. Like you said, the fine details. We spend a lot of time trying to make sure we get everything right the first time so that when somebody buys it, they don't have a bad impression about us.
Sounds good. So people are going to want more information. They're going to want to watch the company. Where can they get that information?
They can find us on dspracing.com, as well as we'll be at the Interbike this year at, I forget what the booth number is.
Craig knows the booth number.
Oh,
Craig,
no.
what's your booth number?
36087.
Awesome. So, Craig, Jared from DSP, thanks so much for taking us through the line. Great to meet you guys. This is David. We're live at Outdoor Demo for Interbike TV.